What it is, Bradley, back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs today in the studio, folks. As always, I got a real treat for you. Kyle Perry up in this bitch.
So, man, I'm glad to be here.
Kyle Perry, folks, if you don't know who he is, Marine Corps veteran who has transformed his life and now dedicates himself to changing the lives of others. Now, mainly through what? Mindset, fitness?
Yeah, I do mindset, fitness, and nutrition coaching all in one. And then I was really high up in the corporate world, so I have a lot of certifications there. So I teach people how to operate their mind and body like a well-oiled business, pretty much.
The old Six Sigma?
Yeah, Six Sigma. So like what that is, you cut out processes in business and make it extra lean. So I teach them how to operate their life, better time management, shit like that. So many people say they don't have time, but in reality, they just don't know how to manage their shit.
Or they don't have a priority.
Yeah, or a priority. Or they just want to live in that victim mindhood, like the victim mentality 24/7.
Why do you think people do that?
They don't want to admit that they fucked their own life up. Just like when I was 300 pounds in the corporate world, I thought I was like successful, but I was fat and lazy and fucking hated my life. So I didn't want to admit that I got myself to that job and that position that I fucking hated. So I pretended like it was okay, and it's not.
Do you think it might be because people aren't even aware they're doing it?
Oh, for sure. You get hyper focused. Like I remember looked in the mirror and like, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Because I was in the Marine Corps, so I used to be in good shape. And I'm like, what the fuck happened to me, dude? It's 300 pounds. My belly, I looked like I was like 8 months pregnant. And I'm like, my fucking girl's got to look at me every day like this. This is fucking disgusting.
You were with her?
Yeah, we've been married 10 years.
Oh.
But she used to be 50 pounds heavy too. So like we went on the journey together because she's a nurse. So like she did that same shit. Like I'm working a lot of hours, but none of that shit matters. It doesn't, just because you work a lot of hours doesn't mean you have to fucking eat more.
100%. So dude, you got a couple of businesses rolling. You're in the entrepreneur phase. Did you learn all this project management and shit like that from the corporate world?
Yeah, so I was in the military, so I used all of that GI Bill and stuff to go get certifications while I was working. So when people say they don't have fucking time, I have 3 kids. I was working a full-time job and going to school, and I was in double school, one for fitness and one for that. So I went and got a master trainer certification in fitness, and then I got my 6 Sigma black belt, agile scrum, human resourcing, financial management, and business management, all while I was working. So I went from $11 an hour when I got out of the Marine Corps to $100,000 a year, all within 2 years as I was getting those certifications. So as I got a new certification, I'm like, you're going to fucking pay me more, I'm going to leave. And I just kept going like that.
Do you think people should go get these certifications?
If they can't get it for free, maybe not. They should start off with just working harder because you can get promoted at least to the next rank, and then take the extra money you get from getting promoted and then get a certification. If you're already strapped right now, just work harder, show up a little bit earlier. I remember when I got promoted, they were like, your hands are always full, but you ask us to put more shit on top. So many people I used to have to fire, or so many people that I would get promoted before, they're like, I can't believe you got promoted. Like, what the fuck are you comparing, bro? I come here earlier than you. I stay later than you. I work circles around you. How do you not see this? Like that, just back to they're not aware.
They're entitled.
Yeah, and they're not aware. They think they're better than they are.
Now, you didn't have the face tats then.
No, I got this eye one a couple months ago, and this one like 8 months ago. I got this to signify never going back to the corporate world. If no one is in commission-based sales, they're fucked. Like if you can, I was making $100,000 a year, but I was capped after that. So I'm like, I need to change this shit. And I got back into fitness. The best thing I ever did.
So what made you think, let me just get a line down my face? So
it represents like the battle scars of like entrepreneurship, or just pretty much, and just a fuck you to everybody, because like they already didn't like this one. So, but you can't see it all the time on camera. So I'm like, I'm gonna get one they have to stare at all the time. And that's one of it was probably the smartest thing I did marketing wise, because that'll get me like 15 comments right there. Like, who the fuck would listen to a dude with face tattoos? And then I'm like, well, I got a badder bitch than you, so don't really matter.
So dude, if you guys want to follow this dude, it's at Perry's PERRYS _ powerhouse _ fitness.
Yep.
Perry's _ powerhouse fitness.
And I pretty much just operate only on Instagram. I have a TikTok, but that fucker gets banned like every other couple of days because they're way more aggressive on like not speaking out against the obesity people or like the trans shit. If you speak out against that on TikTok, it's just instant like flags.
Now you're gaining some popularity on social media. Do you think it's because of the fat shaming and trans?
It's because I'm
bashing?
real. Like I'm saying the shit that people are scared to say because they have real jobs. Like, you know how many people message me like, I would share your message, but I'm scared. I actually made a status like, if you lost your job because you shared my message, I'll get you in a commission-based sales job making $100,000 a year where you don't have to play politically fucking correct.
See, again, right there, number one, if anybody wants a job listening, he'll hire you. I don't know, what do they DM you?
They can DM me, or they can text me at 419-632-5003 because I know they fucking absolutely mangle social media sometimes. That's my personal number. You come straight to me.
Dude, listen, Bomb Squad, listen, if anybody's out there, just blow that shit up so he knows the episode dropped. Say it again.
419-632-5003.
See, now you're going to get motherfuckers that are haters too
I don't give a
texting
fuck.
you.
I get it all the time. Like the one time this dude was like, I know you're in Columbus, and I dropped him a pin. I'm like, then pull up. And then he's like, oh, you think you're cool? You think you got money because you're at Mandrake? I'm like, first off, I do got money. And second off, what are you pulling up or not? Like, but it's all half
so
the time.
You ain't afraid to freaking have 3 people show up and bats and shit?
I'll fucking shoot them, dude. I mean, if you come to me because of my videos to threaten my life and my kids are around, and I'm trained to shoot in the military, someone else is raising your fucking kids, bro. You're not playing with my life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how men should be. Just like we were talking about earlier when Dan Pena was like, when people, they're like, was the guy having a bad day that spit in my wife's face? If you spit in my wife's face, I'm cutting your face off and fucking wearing it.
Yeah, I think any real dude would have to.
100%.
Like you can't, if someone spit in your wife's face, and I think he said his mom, but
yeah.
If someone spit in your kid's face, your wife's face, or anybody's face really that you care about, and you don't do anything about it, you're kind of a bitch.
Straight pussy. Like, dude, you're gonna.
I mean, dude, I'll take an ass beating, but I'm not gonna just stand there.
That's what I was about to say. I'm not saying I'm the toughest dude on the planet, and I don't want problems. But you're not gonna threaten me or do something to my family and expect nothing in return. Like, I respond to a lot of people. Like, I'll make videos off their comments, and then they're like, "Well, why don't you just take the high route?" But fuck your high route, bro. How about you watch your mouth like we used to back in the '90s? People got so scared to punch people because they get in more trouble than the people that started it, but because they never hear the knife stab, they only hear the shot. And once you fucking do that part, you're the bad guy. All you did was do what we used to do 10 years ago.
Well, I have 2 trains of thought on that, only because the point I'm making to people, and I got hate from all the alphas when I said this, because it is a choice. You don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. It's a choice, and that's the point I was making. So a lot of people that are sitting in jail because someone spit in their wife's face and they fucking did something. Well, dude, if you're sitting in jail over that, own it, number one, but you had a choice. And people are like, you don't have a choice. Well, you do have a choice. So I do believe you do have a choice. They just didn't hear me say that I would probably have to do something too, because you just can't stand there.
You do have a choice, and I would sit in jail happily if somebody did some disrespectful shit like that to my family.
But you're not out bullying people.
Not at all. Dude, if someone spit in your wife's face in front of me and you weren't around, even if I didn't know you, if it's just somebody, random dude, just spit in a female's face, I would fucking do what I had to do to protect her. Like,
well, there's a lot of guys out there that would want to be able to do that, but they're so afraid of getting beat up or hurt that they chicken out.
The only people.
What would you say to those people?
They're fucking pussies. Like when people are like, the loudest person in the room is always a bitch. What about Mike Tyson? What about Conor McGregor? People that can't defend themselves love to say, you just gotta you gotta let it go sometimes. Of course you do, because you're a bitch and you would get fucked up in real life. You have to let it go because that dude's gonna spit in your wife's face, then dog walk you all over the fucking place.
Well, again, I mean, dude, listen, I'm no black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Me either.
And I'll probably get my ass kicked if some badass spit in my wife's face, but I'm going to be on the ground bleeding. I'm not going to be fucking explaining to her why I didn't do shit.
Yeah. And most of the time, it's not going to be a bad motherfucker that would do that disrespectful type of shit anyways.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just going to be some dude that's trained highly that's like, oh, I'm going to go spit in this girl. It's normally a piece of shit that can't really defend himself either. That's why he did that weak ass shit.
Well, that's why I tell people, like, go fucking learn to fight.
Mm-hmm. It's not, there's gyms everywhere now.
What's the worst case scenario? Like nothing ever happens, but you're prepared.
Yeah.
Because dude, it would feel like shit if someone spit in your wife's face and you fucking, you did something at least. Because again, to me, like at least do something. You can't just sit there. And if you can, but I wouldn't. And I would probably get my ass kicked if they were fucking tough at all. Why? Well, because, dude, I'm not a big bad fighter. So I'm going to the fucking gym, starting to learn jiu-jitsu, starting to learn some shit. So where, dude, if I got in a situation, at least I'm not getting my ass beat.
Or at least look like intimidating enough to look like a real man to where they wouldn't spit in your wife's face. Like I might not be the scariest person, but if I'm standing beside my wife, like, no, I don't think anyone's spitting in her face.
So where do you think, like normal guys out in the corporate world, where do you think they're going wrong? Where do you think like why were you doing it You followed the path. What struck you?
So when you're at the normal 9-to-5 because I've done blue collar, white collar, like entrepreneurship, military. When you're at the low level working the job and you see the dude sitting there, you're like, I can fucking do that. I bet that's so much easier. And it's not any easier. It's probably harder because there's you get in trouble for everything. Like I was in charge of all 3 shifts, and it sounds like a good career to chase. But I mean, like I was talking about with you earlier, is I was making $100,000 a year running 3 shifts, working 80, 90 hours a week. And now I can have a $10,000, $20,000 day. Like if you get into sales, there's no income cap. But when you're in the corporate world, it sounds good until you get there and you realize $100,000 after taxes is $65. And then insurance in that world is another $200-$300 every 2 weeks. Like we were paying $400 every 2 weeks for insurance because we got 3 kids. That's not shit after the $100,000 after taxes and insurance. So I'm making $2,500 every 2 weeks after everything, working my ass off 80 hours a week. And now I make that in a day, just screaming at my phone, like changing lives.
You think that's what the government wants?
Yeah. I'm not like too big in a massive amount of conspiracy theories, but the more overweight population we have, the more people we talk about mutilating themselves and we distract each other. I saw a post today. We always are against each other. Someone's like, dock workers are going to make $62 an hour, but nurses only make $36. Dude, if a nurse makes $64 an hour and you motherfuckers can't already afford hospital bills, what do you think happens next when they make $64 an hour?
Can't afford it.
Can't fucking afford it. So why do you want those people to get paid even more? Because then you're paying for it. Like when COVID first came out and everyone was all fucking nervous and like they're like, well, if you give them the stimulus or if you give them more money, the prices won't raise. Where are all those people saying that shit now? Those same people that are saying that are making statuses about how they can't afford gas prices anymore. Like they don't understand basic economy. But
during COVID, dude, you also saw the lines at Louis Vuitton and Chanel and all these high-end stores get long as hell. So people were taking that money and buying stupid shit. Yeah, they were like, if you got you got like 10 grand for a family, you can go back and get one of those certifications I just talked about, like 4 of them. Then you could have went from that $15 an hour job that was going to fire you because you wouldn't get something to making $30 an hour. Yeah, well, again, you call that personal development, and that's where I'm trying to drive it to, because listeners are thinking, well, how'd he do it? Well, dude, at some point, whether you realize it or not, you invested in yourself. Yep. Went and got some certifications, et cetera. But how'd you do it? Like, what made you realize I need to change?
It all started with my kids. Like, it drives me fucking crazy that people, I heard the term, like, I struggle so my kids can. Like, you're the biggest piece of shit on the planet if that's your mindset. You want your kids to struggle because you did. Like, you just want them to just fucking have a mediocre life because you did. So I looked at my kids one day. Like, it really started, at first I got sober from alcohol. I used to drink a fuck ton. My daughter was in Sam's Club one day, and she's like, Daddy, look, it's your favorite drink. And my daughter is like 6 at the time. It was Fireball. And the fact that my daughter knew my favorite drink is out fucking landish, but that's most Americans. Most Americans are alcoholics by definition, but they think it's just like living a life of balance. Like, dude, you're fucking alcohol dependent or you're something dependent. And most people are fast food dependent or food dependent. That's why 75% of Americans are fucking fat and lazy right now. And I just look around. Sometimes still, I'm like, it'd be kind of fun to drink. And then I look at the motherfuckers at the bar and I'm like, I don't want to look like none of these motherfuckers. And then that's what keeps me motivated. And they just have to wake up and realize everything you do is your choice. It doesn't matter if you were born with one leg, because you'll have those people in my videos like, what if you were born in India with one leg and 1 foot and 2 fingers? Like, it don't fucking matter. That's just your circumstances. Figure it out. Like, I've had crazy shit happen in my life. Like, most of my friends are dead or in prison. My dad's about dying of brain cancer right now. My nephew just got 15 years in prison. But the only thing forward is right there. And no matter what happened when I was going through all that shit, you would never notice if you watched my stories, because it doesn't matter. We play this like we deserve this or this shouldn't have happened to us, and death happens to everybody. Prison happens to a lot of people. Suicide happens to a lot of people. Bad lives happen to almost everyone. We all have a fucking sad story, but the only thing difference between me and you and them is that we just kept going. We all go through shit, and everyone on this planet dies. The fact that we get so upset and fuck our lives up because, oh, this person died early in my life, so you're just going to fuck the rest of your life off because of it? It's the weirdest mindset we have as a society.
Yeah, I think about that a lot, only because if you think about it, dude, those are all decisions.
Yeah.
So like getting upset, even like if I spit in your wife's face and you get upset, that's a decision. Mm-hmm. And we make those decisions all day long, and people don't realize those decisions, those little ones, are what is putting you where you are. The frequency, the vibration, what you emit is what you get.
Your frequency is what you frequently see. Like if you become what you think and you talk about, and if you're around a bunch of losers drinking and doing the most mediocre shit and being average, I mean, like I say all the time, the fats hang with the fats and the brokes hanging with the brokes, because it's true. Like if you're overweight, the chance of all your friends being overweight is pretty high because you guys do the same shit.
Yeah, but see, when people say that, I always say, well, look at you, dude. You won. You hung out with those motherfuckers, and you still won.
I had to cut a lot of them off, though.
But there's the point. See, you got to cut them off.
Have to.
Most people are sitting there going, but you did, dude. You were hanging around thugs and fucking. You were a hoodlum. Sounds like, weren't you?
Yeah. Like,
but you made it out.
My wife can attest to this. She's sitting right here. Like she's seen like shootouts. She's seen me get jumped. She's seen people pull knives on me. People were going to shoot my house up at one point in time because of the shit we were doing out in town, just getting in stupid fights. I have friends that beat murder charges. Most of my friends are dead or in prison. And
but you made it out.
I made it out. Like if you Google my city,
yeah, but then look at the rule. Then the rule is bullshit because you were surrounded by it
100%.
and you made it out. So people say you can't be surrounded by it, and make it out. Yes, you can, but you got to fucking make a decision and change it.
100%.
You got to eliminate these fucking people. What do you get when people are like, dude, I thought we were buds?
Most of the time I won't respond. So if you stop responding or you just start saying no a lot, they understand eventually. Like you're going to get you think you're better than me. Like first off, well, maybe I am. People think it's weird or egotistical to think you're better than someone. But if I get up earlier than you and I go to bed later than you and I work harder than you and I work 20 hours and you work 8, I'm better than you. My mindset is better than yours and I created it. And it's not egotistical to be better than someone. Those are just fucking facts of the matter. I'm better than you because I created a better me. You won't create a better you, so I'm fucking better. It's not egotistical. And people are like, oh, you need to be... They want you to be humble. Like Google what humble means. To have a low opinion of oneself. Why the fuck would I want to look low on myself because you are offended by me? Like a lot of people are like, oh, he's a piece of shit because of what I say. And all I'm saying is what people used to say 10 years ago.
Dude, I had people DMing me because apparently you were posting that you're coming on this show. And they're like, you're not letting this piece of shit on your show. And I'm like, well, fuck, who's this piece of shit? Fucking, my booking agent says he's coming on. Let me go look. So I look. Like, I don't see anything wrong. What are you doing? What are they hating on?
They just don't like the fact that I tell you if you're overweight, it's your choices. Because they'll come like, well, what about PCOS or what about a bad thyroid?
What's PCOS?
Like when you like get inflamed, right? It's like your body's like just inflamed. Like most females get it and they get like
that's
like,
polycystic ovary syndrome.
Yeah. But or like they'll be like,
by the way,
this?
The doctor said my wife has that and that she will gain weight and grow hair all over her.
I have tons of clients.
Have you seen my wife?
Yeah.
She's like $115.
Tons of clients with it that are shredded.
What about a thyroid issue?
Dude, my mom doesn't have a thyroid. She had thyroid cancer and got cut out and she's not fat.
So what do you think? Why are people fat?
Look at the food portion. So with that company I used to work for was a German-based company. So I work with Germans, Mexicans, people from China, people from everywhere, pretty much Spain. They would come over here and we would go to Texas Roadhouse and like, dude, these like the rolls, they're like, this is dessert for us. And it's only half the size over there. And our portion plates are half. So it's sometimes they're set up for failure. But I mean, if you know you're overweight and you're eating that stuff, you should probably just be like, oh, how do I do this? And then you just take some accountability. Because my wife, she's a nurse. And she works 12-hour days and she's jacked. Like if you go and look at my social media, she's got bigger arms than most dudes. And people are like, well, I don't have time. Like either do we. We have 3 kids. She works a lot. Dude, I work like 15, 16, 17-hour days. And it's just, what are you going to do about it? Back to the victim mentality. They love to be like, well, me. Like a heart attack don't give a fuck if you're offended by what me saying you're a fat fuck. Because when it takes your life, I watched someone die of a heart attack. He pissed and shit himself. And guess what? He didn't go home to his kids that night. He was like 40 years old. When we cracked his semi open, it was nothing but fast food wrappers and real Mountain Dews, not the sugar-free ones. And he died right in front of us. Couldn't save him. The EMTs got there, and then later on they updated us that he passed away. And it doesn't matter if he got offended by my videos calling him fat, because when you shit and piss yourself and your heart stops beating, it don't matter no more.
Is that why your shirt says I'm violently fat phobic?
Yeah, because so many people are like, well, you got to love your body. Like how a heart attack does not care if you like how you look right now. You know who else is losing weight that I got canceled by 7 million people one time because I called Lizzo a fat ass?
Who?
Lizzo.
Who's that?
She's now losing weight. She's a singer.
Oh,
She's fucking massive. But
I'm old. I don't know. You know, when someone says someone time, someone called me and they said, "Hey, do you want Bad Bunny on your podcast?" And I said,
know who that is.
"You don't know who Bad Bunny is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, bigger than Lizzo.
Oh, really?
Like huge. Turns out huge." And I'm like, "Fuck, am I out of it? I didn't even know who Bad Bunny was."
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
And you know, yeah, I'd love to have him on my podcast. Problem is like, you know, he's that fucking huge. I've never even heard of him.
Yeah.
Never heard of Lizzo. What's Lizzo sing? Have I heard the song?
Yeah, probably. I don't know off the top of my head, but
you called her fat, so you were canceled?
Yeah. So back in the day when the Super Bowl happened, remember when I don't really watch sports, but 50 Cent was hanging upside down reenacting, and everyone called him fat. And I'm like, I think it's fucked up. We call men fat when they're 50 years old and better shape than the population, but we call Lizzo fucking beautiful. And this bitch is really fat. She looks like an upside down Dorito. And everyone just lost their fucking mind. This girl that attacks men like destroyed my TikTok. I used to have a TikTok with like 250,000 followers. It got smoked. It got deleted. They came to my Instagram, ruined my algorithm over there. I used to have a Google My Business when I was just local. They gave me 1,000 one-star reviews. And
do you think that this is an agenda or it's actual haters?
No, those were actual haters because the lady has a big following. But if you go and look at the haters, they're all overweight losers that do nothing with their lives. Because if you have time to watch a video, then go to that guy's social media, then go to his TikTok, click on the link, then go to his Instagram, then Google him, and then give him a 1-star review. You're a fucking loser. I don't have time to do shit like that.
No. Nor would I.
I've never looked at a video like I'm going to go figure out how to fuck this dude's life up.
Yeah, I just keep scrolling. Mm-hmm. You know, if anything, block.
Or just hit not interested. You never see this shit again. Like, they'll comment on my shit, and then I just keep popping up on their feed, and they're like, why the fuck? You're a fucking idiot. Like, okay, now I'm on your feed forever, dude. Like, all those people that message you about me, they went from my page, saw your name that I posted, went to your page, then DM'd you. Like, that's how much I fucking ruin their day just by saying, if you're fat, it's your fault.
Why do you think they do it, though? Do you think internally? Because I have a philosophy about it. I think deep down, they kind of want to be something you're displaying.
100%.
And when haters see you brave or funny or good looking or whatever that they're not, that they wish they were, it fucking pisses people off. So they see you saying what they wish they could say, or they're fat and you're telling them the truth. And to me, dude, as our boy Wes Watson says, love ain't lies
at all.
Like, there's two things that freaking Wes said that I adopted. Number one, what you frequently see. Your frequency is what you frequently see, because that's true shit.
That's a fact.
And that's a good way to put it. And then love ain't lies, because dude, love ain't lies.
You tell them the truth.
So you got to tell people the truth. Now, you can do it nicely, or you can do it to get the message across. So if you took a guy, let's call it fat shaming, because that's what they say it is. Trans bashing, when you talk poorly about a transgender. Fat shaming, when you're telling someone that they're overweight. But I would rather fat shame and have a person lose weight and like wake up and like, you know, even if you had to fat shame them, versus 100%. Care about their feelings,
walk them to their grave, and
then they end up like your truck driver buddy.
I save way more fucking lives than any of these fucking losers on here. And then since you brought Wes up, like everyone that's watching this, that's my homie, and he changed my life, and this is the reason I'm on this right now. He changed my life. So I don't care how many people message me every day and try to get me to not like him. Every one of you can suck my dick from the back, because he made this life possible for me. Sometimes there's some shit he says that maybe I don't agree with, but it doesn't fucking matter, because he changed my lives. And that's why you guys will never be successful, because you try to hate on a person even though he's out here changing lives, and the universe deep down knows you're fucking up something where he's actually fixing the universe. And when you speak about anointed people, your life gets fucked up. You know how many people speak on me, and then I got into this is crazy. This is a true story. This lady was hating on me one time, and I knew she was a drug addict. She was talking massively bad about me. And I'm not saying God or the universe did this. This bitch died and overdosed the next day. And when you attack something that's changing the world, sometimes the world comes back and gets you harder. And
well, that's what that to me is when I say you get what you emit, dude. 100%. They're emitting hate.
People tell me all the time, like, I hope your fucking kids die. I hope your wife fucking fucks someone else. All because I'm telling them the truth.
Have you ever read the 4 Agreements?
Mm-mm.
Well, you should. Number 1, there's 4 agreements that you make with yourself. One is be impeccable with your word. And a lot of people read that and they don't understand what it means. So if I talk shit about you, bro, it fucks me.
Your brain doesn't know that I'm saying it about you. If I say a bunch of shit about you, it thinks I'm saying, like, you think you're saying it about yourself. It can't decipher the difference.
Yeah. I can't believe you haven't read that book, dude. Read that book. You'll fucking love it.
I'll have to.
The 4 Agreements. Everyone should go read that book 10 times.
That's another thing my haters would be like, read a book. Like, bitch, I published a best-selling book, actually.
I think Wes said, which is funny as shit, but I totally disagree. He said books are for prisoners.
Yeah. I understand what he's saying, though, because, like, how many people do you know
that he is dead wrong.
That's read 50 books and don't apply them? Like,
well, he's right about that.
Yeah.
But, dude, reading books is not for prisoners. No, yeah. Okay, reading books is for intelligent motherfuckers that want to learn more, because people don't realize what you're getting is based on what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And what you're doing is based on your beliefs, and your beliefs are based on what information you've received. Whether it's right or wrong is irrelevant. Your belief system causes your actions cause your results. No one can argue. So if you want to change what you're getting, you got to change what you're doing. If you want to change what you're doing, you got to change what you believe. Now, again, some people are so fucking hardcore in their beliefs, they don't want to listen to any bullshit. They're stuck in that belief system, which means they're going to keep getting what they're getting.
Yeah.
They have to, because you get what you get because you do what you do. And if your beliefs are locked in, you're going to keep doing and keep thinking the same ways. So books, it has new information that you don't have. So if you read a book and you don't do anything with it, it still might change your beliefs. It gets you thinking. And then all of a sudden, something you read makes you think. And then you're like, now your beliefs are starting to change. And then you may not realize it, but your decisions change, your actions change technically. Mm-hmm. So Wes saying books are for prisoners, that's funny to me. Like, that's fucking hilarious. When I heard it, I started laughing. But dude, I would debate him all day long on this. But
he doesn't. Sometimes he doesn't believe it because he wrote a book. So if he thought it would only get sold to prisoners, he wouldn't have wrote it. Sometimes he just
Wes is a funny motherfucker.
He's fucking hilarious. And like, me and you know him personally, right? So like, there's a funny laughing side to him too, and he jokes a lot. But I mean, I'm really aggressive on the internet, and people think, like, when they see my long form, they're like, holy fuck, bro, like, you're pretty intelligent, you have a lot of certification and shit. But like, if I only have 15 seconds to catch your attention, or 30 seconds on a short form video, of course it's gonna be aggressive. Of course I'm gonna say some shit. I'm gonna say some off the wall shit. Like, someone the other day was like, you're homophobic. I'm like, of course, bro, I don't want a dick in my ass. I'm pretty scared of that. Like, you just gotta say some off the wall shit to get their attention. But then you can show them, like, he has like normal sit down videos where he talks pretty normal on podcasts.
So are you trying to reach people that are fat and out of shape and lazy and not being the best they can be? Is that who you're looking for?
Just like, most of it is like, I really want to get veterans sober. My goal ultimately when I die from this earth is to get the 22 a day veterans that kill themselves, the number down. I want to have a sober house and throughout all the United States eventually. But I coach like mostly parents. Like, my motto is like showing tough love to parents to do better. And I teach them mindset, fitness, and nutrition. And I even fix their finances, because once you fix these 3, you can fix your finances and get ahead. I just want people to feel like I feel internally, because I was you. My wife was you. My wife was 50 pounds heavier. I was 300 pounds. And then I cut all the way to 170, and I gained up to 200 to put some muscle back on. Now I'm coming back down. If they can feel internally how I feel, it would absolutely change their lives. And I don't charge a lot. For 3 months, it's $750.
You don't charge enough, if you ask me.
So I do have a high ticket, but my best selling package is $750 for 3 months, or my next best selling package is a year for $19.99. I will absolutely change your entire fucking life. And I have over 1,000 testimonials. If you go to my Instagram, you can see the testimonials every day on my story. You can see, and then they go and make more money. Like, my best client to date, him and his wife, they lost a shit ton of weight. He left his construction job and opened his own. With the network that I know and the people I know where I'm from, he made $140,000 in 3 months and was making $15 an hour before that. He got abs. He became a better father. He quit drinking. And then he started making a fuck ton of money and retired his wife. So me and him retired our wives in the same year. My wife quits her job this year. And to be able to do that for people is the best thing in the world. So I don't care how many people fucking hate me, because I know there's people out there that exist. And then one life change is really 10, because people see him and his friend group and they start to do better with their life. And then all of a sudden it's chain link effect. Like, I might have 1,000 transformations that they actually paid me for. But I've changed tens of thousands of lives from those thousands. Like I have DMs of people I changed. I have this one I will never forget. This guy messaged me and was like, I quit drinking alcohol and became a better father from one video I watched from you. And I never signed up a day in my life. To be able to get on the internet and change lives like that. And if you don't think the universe isn't going to give you good back, you're absolutely fucking wrong. And that's where they're lost to begin with, is they don't even believe in a higher power. If you don't believe in anything and you don't have any morals, you don't give a fuck if you're a piece of shit. It's okay to be fat, lazy, and a loser and let your kids look at you. And people think kids don't pay attention. I'm a superhero on my block. I have videos of like, Kyle, they call me Caillou because I'm bald, or Mr. Clean. 10, 20 neighborhood kids will run out with my kids like, look, it's Caillou, it's Caillou. And they're like, I wish my parents worked out like you guys do. We're superheroes of those kids because we look like something most people don't. And if you don't think that your kids are going to emulate you being a fat fuck or a lazy fuck, you're absolutely wrong, because they might not listen, but they'll become you.
Yeah, they're watching. That's for damn
Every
sure.
single thing.
So, dude, why do you charge so little?
So I want to be able to, like we talked about earlier, I want to be able to help out as many people as possible. Like clearly I have a high ticket and my tickets do get higher, but I can help out the masses with that. And then I can take that. Imagine if 5,000 people from this show signed up for my $750 program. I take that money I made and then I put it back out into the universe by going on more podcasts. I do speaking events. I go to more speaking events, and I start running a fuck ton of ads to stay in people's faces. Most people can afford $750, even if they have to slap it on a credit card, and I'm going to save them more than that in those 3 months. Now, I do have higher ticket that's $1,500 a month and crazy like that, but $299 a month is enough to hurt their pocket, or the $750 for 3 months is like my best-selling package, and then you can just text me 419-632-5003 to buy it, or DM me on Instagram. Just say 3 months or 1 year. Just tell me one of those two, and you'll get the link, and I'll get you in within 24 hours, and you'll be on my Sunday mindset calls. The amount of lives I can change there, and I take the money. When people say money can't change the world, it absolutely fucking can. If I made $3 million in a month, the amount of lives I can change after that, and then I change their lives, I get their mindset better, and then I get them into a commission-based jobs where they change their lives even more. Because once you get around people like this, like how you told me you made something in a month and I made in a whole year, once you get around people that make in a month that you make in a year, and you see the shit that's possible. Once I sat in Wes's Bugatti, I was like, I can own one of these motherfuckers. So if you get around me and you hear this type of shit every Sunday, and you stop watching the fucking football games with your loser buddies that are talking about fucking getting in fights and doing all this stupid shit, or fucking cheating on their wives, or being a fat piece of shit, or what they're going to do, or how bad they're going to work tomorrow because they're hungover because they watch football, and you come to my group mindset call instead and you hear me saying shit like this and it lights a fire under your ass, your life's changed. Every time I speak, I create a winner and a loser, because I know when they message you and say I'm a piece of shit, those are the losers I created, because they want to prove me wrong so bad they'll be a fucking dumb fucking fat retard the rest of their life because they didn't want to act like I'm right. But then another winner just got made right now, and someone's going to sign up, and then their lives going to be changed. Then the losers don't matter. They fall to the wayside. And when time for real men come, if another war breaks out, guess what? Those fucking pussies go back in their caves for a while. Do you think the language and the choice of words that you use help you or hurt you? I think it does both. Some people are like, fuck, we really need this guy. I went to a speaking event. It was a real estate with older people, and everyone came up and shook my hand like, we're missing men like you in this world. But some people, like, they try to demonize what I say. Just like they say, like, oh, if you believe in God, how do you cuss? Like, you can fucking win the day, holds weight, no negativity in that. Or if you're like, I'm an idiot, like that's cursing, because I am as God. You're cursing every day, even if you don't say curse words. I'm not really cursing. I'm saying some motivational shit, and the universe knows it. It goes back to what the universe is, just like the stock market. The more you invest into it, you start getting dividends back out. So I'm only putting good. It sounds grotesque.
That ain't a good analogy, only because you can put money in the stock market and lose your ass.
You can, but I mean, you're going to get some kind of dividend back.
Use the bank as an analogy.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
The more you put in, more you get out.
The more you get out. And it's the universe is the same way. It's going to pay you back eventually. Like I used to, like,
one way or the other, by the way.
Yeah, good or bad. If you put a negative energy like they're doing, that's why their lives suck. Dude, the amount of people that come and argue with me like God's not real. And I'm like, all right, let's compare lives. And they're like, oh, you're so egotistical. Like, no, I preach about God every day. So let's compare lives. If God's not real, but I keep hyping him up and you talk shit about him and your life fucking sucks and my life's good, that's a pretty clear indication that something I'm saying is right. Because I keep getting blessed over and over again because I'm blessing so many lives and changing so many lives, and you fucks are talking about people and your life sucks and you don't believe in God. I wonder why.
Well, there's a lot of people I think that don't believe.
There are.
You'd have to be an idiot to think there's no creator. Everything's too in order.
It's hard to trust someone that has no morals. If you don't believe in something that's higher than you and you don't think there's anything that can, like, you're not going to pay the price, I don't want you around me. Like, if you don't think there's something after this, you can do some heinous shit to me and not care.
So what's with the big trans agenda?
I think it's just like if they can castrate men, or like they talk about if you give them a circus and bread, you can keep them busy for life. It's the same shit. We're all arguing about this, and the crazy thing is I'm very transphobic, but there's not that many trans people, but their voices are fucking loud because people are scared to talk about it that believe what I believe because they're scared to get canceled. So they're not as loud. They're way louder than the people like me. So like when I go up to bat against these motherfuckers, 1,000 of them will come attack me, but only 3 people will stand up. But there's more that believe what I'm saying. They're just scared. So if you can talk a man into chopping his dick off, imagine what else you can chop him into, like talk him into doing. Dude, if you can convince someone to chop their dick off, you could convince them to do anything.
Well, maybe no one's convincing them. Maybe they are convinced that they are a female.
They're just planting the seeds, dude. Like they're going into little kids' heads and like.
Who's they?
Have you watched the Daily Wire ever? He goes,
No.
he goes and he's like, "What's a female?" And she's like, "Well, only a female can say what a female is, but she used to be a dude." So her logic in and of itself. So the media platforms that promote it, they're planting in people's heads. Every time you turn on Netflix, there's some fucking wild shit going on, like dicks, transgenders everywhere. Or like, why do like if we introduce
now
ourselves?
Again, just between me and you. See, I don't notice it,
dude. If I enter,
but I think you're focused on it.
well, yeah, because I preach against it. So like I see it, but there's like a lot of shows out there. The Daily Wire calls them out, and like he's like, if only a female can say what a female is, he's like, can you tell me what a cat is? And she's like, I think I need to leave this interview. But this,
well, that's because they have no explanation for logic.
and it has therapists by their name while he's interviewing these people. So these are real therapists telling kids this. And she's like, well, we need to talk about gender fluidity within kids. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Why do we need to?
Or like when people are like,
nobody told me anything about transgenderism when I was a kid.
and why can't we just have a normal conversation? Why do I gotta walk up like, hey, I'm Kyle.
Why not let them decide?
Hey, I'm Kyle. I suck dick from the back. Like, why can't you just say, hey, I'm Kyle. How is your day? Like, why do we need to know your sexual preference as a person?
When you suck dick from the back, that's sucking your asshole, isn't it?
It's just a phrase I like to use because it
I know,
pisses people off.
but like you said it twice now, and I'm thinking like you can't suck a dick from the back, so you're basically
suck an asshole for sure.
Yeah,
but
let's get back to this only because you know shit. I want to get us suppressed somehow. No, just joking. But that whole transgender thing. Because, dude, honestly, I swear to God, like if someone's transgender, I don't care.
I don't either.
I don't hate them before it. I don't say stay away from my kids. Now, if they were trying to talk my kid into doing it, I don't like that. Yeah. Why? Just if my kid ends up a transgender, that's
on them.
Yeah, let them just evolve and figure that out. But for you to, put it out there and almost want them to, that's the part where I say stop. Because I think, there's gay people. And then there's transgenders. Well, what's the difference? Dude, I don't know the difference and I don't really care. And I'm not against any of them. Here's what I'm against. Don't push your shit on everybody else. Just like I don't go around telling everyone they should be straight.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Like, we don't go around like, every time I meet you, hey, I'm Kyle. I love fucking pussy. Or like, you know how they'll fly the gay flags in schools, right? But that'd be like me going to being a teacher and have big titty bitches all over my wall. Like, that's still not appropriate. I'm not saying like you can be whatever the fuck you want to be. It's a free country. So that's where like I used to not even care or speak out against it. But there's some weird shit that happened in my city where this pedophile got caught and this transgender I used to think was all right made a joke like, oh, I would have took those kids to him. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm drawing a line in the sand and fuck all of them. And because there's a gay TikToker that's like, once we became accepted, they told us more people would flood in. And now there's a plus at the end of LGBTQ. And then there's going to be, they're trying to bring it to where, they're just minor attracted. And it just gets, the gay guy was like, we fucked up and we opened the bridge. We should have just been silent. They were letting us live our lives just fine. That's where we fucked up in society. Because when you don't speak out against it and people are like, why do you care? Because this is why society got so fucking weak, bro. Nobody will say anything. They're fucking terrified. Dude, Trump don't even say that bad of shit and people have tried to kill him twice. He don't even say anything crazy. He's like, hey, I'll fix your economy, and I love the American people. He's rich as fuck. He don't have to care about us. And he still does. This dude's almost been killed twice and still fucking stands up against all this shit.
So if you could change things, what would you be changing?
I would start off, like, I think you should give people that are healthier better benefits in life. You should get, like, there's a lot of things that I think that should happen. So if you're gay and you can't have kids, you should pay more in taxes, because I created 3 more kids that are going to pay taxes and create a generation. You're only here for one lifetime.
Yeah, but you do because you get breaks.
You get breaks, but like Andrew Tate said it a lot. Like, if all you care about is fucking, like, what good can you give into this world? Like, if all you're here for is fucking and not recreating, like the world is meant to recreate. Like, what else can you care about? Back to the beliefs thing. Like, if you don't believe in a higher power and you don't have any morals, I don't fucking want you around me. Like,
I'm doing my share of recreating.
Yeah, I've seen that. How many kids do you have?
7?
Yeah, I have 3, but
7 that I know of.
Yeah. But
you never know if you have one that never told you about it.
Yeah. And 7, I mean, they'll go, like, the person you are, they'll go and do a lot of good. But, like, I mean, if you're
Well, I got lucky because, again, I had to learn the hard way the first set. Then the second set I was a little better, and this third set I'm doing a lot better. But
it's just part of growing up.
But I'm lucky again. I mean, my kids, none of them are fucked up. Thank God. So, but it wasn't because I'm such a great dad or an example, because, like, otherwise they'd be fucked. They'd be a little fucked up. Not the current ones, but the older ones.
My son would be fucked if he went off the old me. But now he sees the new me too, because he's 13. And, like, he's at the age where, like, he's going to start becoming a real adult, and he's going to see the type of mindset him and his mom have.
Why do you think there's such a widespread obesity epidemic?
A lot of it. So I used to work for the phosphate company. A lot of it's just this. I mean, we're putting shit into the foods that have to do. You have to preserve it. I mean, unless you grow your own food, it just has to be there, or the food will fucking disintegrate.
So how do these other countries do it?
A lot of shit's banned over there, and they walk a lot more, and they eat their portion size.
How do they get food if you have to put this shit in your food?
A lot of it's fresh, and they ban it, or, like, they come and get it earlier. Like, we import a lot of shit. Like, frozen fruit is better for you than fresh fruit and stuff, because it's already, you lock the nutrients in when it's frozen. But, like, they tell you it's bad. I don't know. There's this, like, big giant misconception on the internet that people just spew shit. But, like, the nutrients are locked into frozen stuff because it preserves it. So, like, when you buy something off the shelf and the apples are already, like, decaying, like, you already lost a lot of it.
Why would you buy rotten apples?
I'm just like, dude, we buy shit all the time at our store, and the shit's not fresh. It's already going bad. Like, you have to pick through it. So there's people just picking it up, and they take it home and they eat it.
So you think that the shit in the food is just to keep it fresh?
Yeah, a lot of it. There's a lot of preservatives in it, but it's a lot of portions. Like, if you look at something,
you know what you should go look at? Who owns all those chemical companies?
Yeah, it's like one person.
It's in a lot of cases, it's the pharmaceutical companies. Yeah. Well, what do they want you to buy?
And all the pharmaceutical companies, per RFK, because he sued them, they're all felons too.
Well, again, I mean, I don't think they're putting food in because it preserves our food. Mm-hmm. I think they're putting shit in our food to keep us unhealthy.
I agree with that too.
And to get us fat and to lower our testosterone. I was talking to a kid the other day.
Our testosterone's waxed.
Well, he came up to me and he was like, freaking dude, and he didn't realize I was 55. He's like, holy shit, you take testosterone. I said, well, or he was asking if he should. I said, well, you got to go get your levels checked and see. Yeah. And maybe. And I said, what's your testosterone? And he said, he just got it checked. I said, what is it? He said, 500. I said, how old are you? He said, 29.
Crazy. It happens. What was yours?
When I checked it, 458.
Dude, mine was 134.
Oh, shit.
The military fucked me.
But, well, again, military used to put what's called saltpeter in food. Yeah. So I don't know if, I'm not a conspiracy nut, but I believe that some of the lobbying and the, people that are big dollar people, pharmaceutical companies mainly, but all the big powers that be, the real people behind the world, they know that this stuff will preserve it longer, make it smell better. And so that's their excuse. Mm-hmm. But in reality, they also know that people consume this, they're going to get diabetes. If they get diabetes, I can sell my medicine.
I agree with that too.
I can keep this thing functioning.
It's a win-win for them.
Imagine if people were cattle and those people are out working and making money and you want it. So if you could put something in their water, all these different people would need your product. And people no one would do that. Bro, trust me, that is not something those type of people wouldn't do.
They don't give a fuck.
So when I look at ingredients in the food today, I'm like, why do they allow that in the food? And that's what I hear. Oh, it's to keep it, on the shelf for longer. Dude, that's called profit. So you want more profit. So guess what? I think if you get rid of the lobbying and you stop putting profits over people, the world will be a better place. People would be healthier.
And people also don't have to eat that shit. Like you can go to a farmer's market around you and you can eat just like real meat. And like, I mean, it is a little bit more expensive, but are you going to invest to live longer or invest to kill yourself?
Yeah. Well, this is where the mindset comes in. This is why, even though people don't want guys like you out there, or not people, but some people, I like it. That's why I bring people like you on the show when everyone says don't. Why? Yeah. Well, because dude, you're going to wake some people up. Some people are going to be listening to this going, dude, I'm going to go check this dude out, and guaranteed, dude, you're going to add to that 1,000 you've already fucking helped. And people can say, Brad, I'm going to unfollow you because you let this guy on. Listen, I'm free speech. I want to bring a transgender on the fucking thing.
Isn't it crazy that I'm a Marine Corps veteran that only 1% of America does, and they tell me I can't fucking use my freedom of speech that me and my friends earned? Like, I have friends that no longer live here because they served in the military with me, and they're telling me I can't fucking speak. That shows you how fucked the world is right now. But this fat fucking idiot that's done nothing with his life deserves a voice. That can't even figure out how not to live paycheck to paycheck or be in shape when we have the fucking internet.
Well, let's try to give some people some free knowledge. Okay, let's pretend there's someone listening. They're kind of fed up because, dude, in my mind, people will change when they get fed up enough. In other words, when the pain of staying the same exceeds the pain of changing, then they'll change. A lot of people won't change because they want to be comfortable. So like me, I get a little bit chunky. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I can take the hate and I have a beautiful wife. She don't care if I'm here or here. I don't care. Most people, they don't have this mindset. So they don't want to be uncomfortable, and they don't want to diet, and they don't want to work out, right? So they're fat, and it's like, my life's fine. Why do I need to be in shape? Well, why do you think people need to be in shape?
It will fix a lot of the problems they have in their life. Just like when people are like, well, money isn't everything. No, but it can take some stress away. Like if you're stressed out all the time, your gut health is directly related to your brain health. If you're overweight, you're not eating correctly. Period. You can't get fat on eating nothing but fruits. It'd be damn near impossible because there's not a lot of calories in berries and stuff like that. You'd be full way before you'd get fat, and you're going to feel better. And then guess what? That's why I do mindset, fitness, and nutrition. Once you get that mindset that you believe that, you get the fitness in part and then the nutrition. The nutrition will fix everything else. If you can fix the way you feel and the way you look, people will say that it doesn't matter. I used to hire and fire people. Okay. If you came to me and there was a resume that was exactly the same, your interview was exactly the same, that one was fat as fuck, this dude's in shape, I automatically know he's going to walk up and down those steps faster. I automatically know if the machine goes down, he's going to do the manual labor part faster. He's getting the job every time. And people say it doesn't exist, and it does, because look around. Like every time this person goes to the interview with this person and it's a matching resume, I guarantee that person gets a job. And like my assistant manager was fat, and he had the same mindset because he saw it. He saw the fat people lack at the job, and our in shape people would quit because they had to pick up the slack. So you're fucking over the workers beside you. And obesity costs America like $2 billion a year in the healthcare. And then if I'm losing all my good workers because you're fat, and then they're paying higher insurance premiums because you know how insurance works, like X amount of people are going to get this by this age because they're obese, and all these factory workers eat this much, we got to charge this factory this much to get insurance. So the in shape person is paying more than the fat it's paying the same amount because the fat person.
So if there's a fat dude listening or a fat chick listening, give them some free coaching.
The best way to start is start walking outside just to get your mindset better, because no one goes outside enough. Start walking daily, and just if you're drinking pop right now, switch to diet pop. Start small, because a lot of people do cold turkey too much, and then your body don't like that either. Like stay in a state of homeostasis. Like if you stop smoking cigarettes, drinking pop, and stop eating fast food, and you switch to a perfectly healthy diet, you're going to fail. 90% of diets fail specifically because of that. Like some of my clients, I just have them start walking a little bit, and then I just have them start eating a little better. And then a couple weeks in, I start them on the workout journey, because if I go from this to that, they're fucked. They're not going to follow.
So you're saying just start walking.
Just start walking. Just start moving.
How long of a walk should I be taking?
So I ruck with a backpack. If you can do that and you're not like you're okay to do that, that's what I would do first, because you'll burn way more calories. And I would walk for an hour, and I would start with 10 pounds in a backpack and work yourself up to 45 pounds. It helps fix posture. It's very good for your mental health. Andy Frisella talks about it a lot. Like his 75 hard program, he tells people to ruck now instead of walk. It's just way better for your body. His mental health is way harder, but it's not like running, so it's not as taxing on your body. And you start to listen, and I don't listen to music while I do. I listen to like self-development podcasts or motivational things, because like some music's pretty fucking wild out there, and you put some bad thoughts in your head again, and you don't want that while you're trying to go through this journey. Start walking, listening to stuff like this for an hour a day, and your life will, even if you don't change your diet at first, your life will completely change. Just that alone. People don't even get outside enough.
What about mindset? How would someone get started? Because there's a lot of people going, yeah, but you don't understand. You don't understand. Well, that's your mindset. Yep. You're sitting there making excuses, and you think that you're a victim, and you've got this mindset of, I call it scarcity, where, dude, like you're never going to get out of that. So what would you say to people listening that they can identify at least that they've got that negative mindset, but they don't know what to do to fucking start getting it to the positive side and the abundant side? What would you tell them?
So how they can know what mindset they're in is they open up their social medias and look at their timeline. Because whatever they're interacting with is now part of their timeline. The algorithm knows. If it's negative, you're a negative person. If you see nothing but people like us on there, you know that you're on the positive side because you started engaging with it. And then if you know you're a negative person, start listening to people like us. Start listening to people like Wes. Start listening. I have a really good friend. His name's Jason Lamar. He fucking speaks. The way he speaks is crazy. He should be. He's going to be like one of the top speakers in the world. The way he's so intellectually correct. Those people will motivate you so much to change your life by listening to those. Because right now you're listening to negative people and you're around negativity. And if you're around it, negativity is way more, it's just in a loop. It's way easier to get addicted to negativity than positivity. Because like how many times have you seen the positive person at a workplace get the hate, but all the negative people stick together? They're like, oh, fuck this job. He's just a fucking brown noser. But guess what? He's the one that gets promoted. So if you get around that guy right there and you start surrounding yourself with friends like that versus the people you grew up with or the people in your hometown, the internet is vast, bro. Like no one is like this where I'm from. Guess what? Now I hang out with Wes Watson. Now I'm hanging out with you. I've hung out with so many people like me now because of the internet. And that's all they have to do. Get on the internet and find your people if you can't find them in your hometown. Because you will find them and you don't have to become who you are. If you go on my Instagram and go down far enough and you look at those people's names and you Google their names, you'll see how the type of shit they used to do in life. And you'll see they've beat murder charges. And now you see that I'm hanging out with people like you and Wes. Wes is a felon, but the point of the matter is you get around the people that you become. You get into those rooms by acting like it. The same thing in the military. They're like, act like your next rank. You just start acting like it. You can't get into a room with me if you're a piece of shit. Like people all the time, like, I want to hang out with you. You're motivational. I look at their shit like, bro, I would never let you around me. You would drag me down. It's like monkeys in a barrel being around those motherfuckers, dude.
Well, that's what I say, that's why you have to change your environment.
Yeah.
See, when you wake up in the morning, you have a vibration. We all are vibrating right now. So when you wake up in the morning, first of all, you're dreaming, you're at night, you're asleep. That's, your alpha waves and all that, theta waves and all that shit. So forget sleep. When you wake up, and by the way, you're still vibrating then, but when you wake up, to me, I always say that that's the point where you want to raise it. Because, if you're going to attract what you're emitting, you want to emit the good shit. That makes common sense. Most people don't get confused by that. So when I wake up, my trick to get extremely enthusiastic, excited, hopeful, optimistic, abundant is I realize how valuable the day is. Just waking up, like your buddy with the truck and the heart attack, he doesn't get to. So most people wake up and what do? They start worrying about the bills and the problems and the headlines and the hate and the negative shit. So when they wake up, as soon as they shift to, I got bills to pay, man, I got rent due, that's all negative. That's all scarce. Yeah. That's all doubt, fear, worry, anxiety, right? And so they wake up and boom, they're down here in this level of frequency. Well, that's what they get and they don't know how to get out of it. So what I do is I realize how lucky I am to be alive, how valuable the day is. So when I wake up, I'm instantly up here. And then the trick is to keep it up there because that's what you're talking about. The friends and the family and the haters and the headlines and the bullshit start bombarding you because they're not going away just because you're positive.
Yep.
And then that sucks you back down. Now your energy starts to match their energy, which is why it's important to get that environment clean.
And you
know
don't
what I mean?
have to do anything drastic. Just find new people. Like if you don't have to move, I'm moving soon, but I did all this still in that area. If you Google my area, it's worse than 93% of the entire America. It's one of the most.
Where are you at?
It's in between Cleveland and Columbus. So it's a small city in Ohio, but it gets all the influx dangers. Like there's a body popping up like every day. Like if you Google it, it's one of the worst cities per capita in America. And it doesn't seem that bad when you're used to it. Like when I explain to people there that live there, like they're like lost. They're like, what do you mean? Or they're like, when I go to Miami, they're like, Miami's dangerous. I'm like, dude, do you know where you live right now? Like they like they see the shit on the internet and they hear these things. And like when I went to Texas, they're like, oh my God, they're overran with illegal immigrants. Like it's so dangerous down there. I had the time of my life in Texas. Way nicer than where I'm from. But they just like the media shit. They see all that negativity and they don't even realize they're living in negativity.
Pay attention, folks. Dude, I'm glad you made it out and you're on your way up, and I'm glad you're helping people. For all the haters out there, what do you want to say to them?
Honestly, it doesn't even matter if they hate me. I kind of like it because like you guys are louder and get my message out there more. So the only thing you're doing is helping me. So just keep talking shit. And I mean, I like it. Like if I didn't like it, I would change my message. Like if I wasn't successful and it wasn't making money, I would figure like, fuck, this ain't working. Let me change my message. Like dude, I'd spent like 30 grand this month to do shit like this. Like I got a cyber beast. I got a nice ass Airbnb. I came down here, got my flights, and like back to the like. Money is also energy. So if I start giving it back to the world knows that too. Like I'm giving out the energy. It takes energy to get money. Then I bless other families. I bless the guy that I got the Cybertruck from.
Again, people don't realize that.
Yeah.
People are always, because I buy shit. Just got a new Rolls Royce. Just bought a Chevelle. That's what I was looking at downstairs. And people are like, dude, must be nice. You know, like, dude, they don't realize that money, if you hold on to it, is worthless.
Yep.
If I just gave you 20 million, but I said, dude, don't spend it, you guys would eventually go, dude, come get this shit out of here. It's fucking in the way.
Yeah.
Because you can't spend it. You can be excited and look at it for a minute. And once you realize you can't do nothing with it, you're going to be like, fuck. So then you go, oh, wait a minute. That makes sense. If you can't use it, it's worthless. It's useless.
Yeah.
So money's to use, right? And there's so many people holding on to it because they don't want to lose it, because then they won't have it. And they don't realize that if they used it, more would come. Now, again, not foolishly blow it like, drugs and stupidity.
Right.
But, dude, coming out here and doing the things, you're meeting new people, you're learning new things. The shit you learned on that board out there, like, dude, I guarantee you, dude, that's formulating in your head. And when you get back, you'll start doing things that you probably maybe wouldn't even have recognized.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, dude, people are scared to get rid of their money or to use their money. And it makes no sense. I've never been afraid to be broke again. Why? Well, because number one, my whole entire life, I've never ran out of money.
Yeah.
And people that are broke right now can say, I have. You're not out of money, bro. Life isn't over.
Our brokest people have iPhones. America's not that bad either.
But dude, there's more money coming. I promise you there's more money coming based on what you do. So I don't have a scarce mindset. I have an abundant mindset. And when I try to tell people, like the other day, I'm sitting there at a conference, I'm on stage. I ask a guy, what do you do for a living? I'm in marketing. I'm like, great. What'd you spend marketing last month? He said, $8,000. I said, what'd you get back? He said, $100,000. And I said, so why'd you only spend $8,000? He said, well, I only have $600 in the bank. I said, $600? He said, no, $600,000. I said, you have $600,000 in the bank and you spent $8,000 marketing for a marketing company?
Right.
He's like, yeah. I said, why do you think you're not attracting more business? You're not even sold on your business. Why would you? If I have $600,000 in the bank, I'm trying to blow my business, dude. I'm using that $600,000. And if you told me every dollar I give out, I get 18 back, I'm taking all 600,000. Well, what if you lose it? Well, I guess I'll fucking go make 600 again. But like, why do you automatically think I'm going to lose it just because I use it?
Grant Cardone talks about going broke a couple times a year.
He says stay broke because again, the richest people that I know are technically the brokest, just by word definition.
Another thing that I don't get is like you bought that Rolls Royce, right? And people try to demonize it. Like you bless that car dealership and his kids, the salesman, the people that built the Rolls Royce, the people that built the parts for that car. All those people got blessed from your money that you worked for. And if you don't think that's going to come back to you somehow, like they're just delusional.
Yeah, but it wasn't my money. My money's not my money. My money's in my custody. Mm-hmm. And so I try to get rid of it. And as soon as I get rid of it, more comes back. And then I'm like, cool, this is cool. Because imagine if you got paid to buy shit. What if you got paid to go get everything you want in life? Everybody would be excited. Everybody, their energy would be up here and they would just keep cycling this money. But everybody wants to get scarce. So they start thinking, ooh, I better be careful. Why? I don't want to be broke again. I finally got some money. I don't want to lose it. Well, dude, what you did is you had no money, so you didn't give a fuck. You risked it all and you did what you're supposed to be doing. And then you start making some money. So here, let's say you're abundantly thinking. And then here you start making money. So what do? Well, now you start thinking scarce. And so what happens? You stay where you are or people crash. And then they're like, oh, I knew it. No, dude, your mindset, you need to broaden it. You need to strengthen your mindset. So the shit you're teaching, bro, is good shit. That's where I'm going with it. Mindset, 100%. Fitness, 100%. Habits. Is that habits?
Nutrition.
Nutrition.
But habits is in the mindset.
Well, mine's mindset, skill set, habits.
Yeah.
You know, fitness to me is a habit.
Yeah, so is nutrition.
Yeah, so like, dude, those are the right things to be teaching people. How you say it might offend some people, but dude, trust me, you're helping people, and some people need to hear it the way you're saying it.
They do. People need tough love because the thing is, that's how I changed my life. Like
Yeah,
before I knew who Wes was, I saw his videos because I'm a Marine. I'm used to that shit. Military members relate to convicts because it's a military discipline style thing. Even though they went to prison instead, still very disciplined and it's still very crazy. And they see a lot of crazy things and they see death and they see destruction just like the military does. So we relate to a lot of convicts because it's the same lifestyle. They just went down a lot of people were going down the felon route when they went to the military. That's why they went.
That's right.
So everyone's a felon. They just haven't been caught.
That's right. Did you hear that from me? Because that's my line right there.
I have heard that from you, but I've always said that. Like, I don't judge felons because my brother's a 5-time felon. Now he makes $50,000 days. He owns a tree service. And everyone's a felon. Like, people drink and drive all the time. Like, you don't know what could happen if that happens, or like they do stupid shit. That's like the people like you say the craziest shit. Like, dude, you drink and drive with your kids in the car and I'm the fucking bad guy. They just don't like hearing the truth. So
you don't drink, do any drugs, anything anymore?
No, I used to drink. I'm too big of an alcoholic to drink ever again. I don't have anything against marijuana. I think marijuana can save a lot of veterans with PTSD. I have it against it if you're smoking an ounce a day and you say it's for medicinal purposes, but your kids, you tell me you can't afford a Christmas for your kids. Like, no, you're just a piece of shit. Stop smoking weed.
So, dude, if you guys are veterans getting out or already and you want help, hit him up. Perry's what is it?
Perry's _powerhouse_fitness, or you can just text me at 419-632-5003 because my platforms do go down sometimes.
And my team will probably put it in the notes. You got a YouTube channel or anything?
I do. The same thing. Everything's the same name across the board. Sometimes they'll be down. You won't be able to find them, but it's the same name across the board.
Folks, you heard it. As always, till next time, keep it real.